Hello, good evening, everyone. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, type 1. Because today is a very special Telegram pula. It's a very special turnaround webinar where we're going to have an extra channel. We are actually live, not only on Facebook Live, not only on Zoom, but as well as Telegram, right? So if you guys can hear me loud and clear, type a 1 for me. Thank you very much. I see here we have Ash. Hi, Ash. Hi, Ashley. There are two different people. Right? Hi, Hughie. Hi, Tim. We also have YK listening to us live from Telegram. We are also live on Facebook Live. If you guys can hear me on Facebook, type a 1, right? I'm so happy that, time passed by so fast. I guess when you're busy, then this is something which happens, right? And we actually have a very special guest. Unfortunately, this special guest is not the special guest that I have. I'm going to tell you this story because Alan, if you guys are familiar, say hi to Alan, right? He is one of our colleagues here. He'll be joining us because, more people marry, right? So as usual, we are going to give out a free gift. And the free gift here, for those of you who have gotten my ebook, you'll be very happy to know that it's exactly what we are teaching in our debt management workshop, right? So a lot of people or the students have gone through the debt management workshop were asking for my slides. You can actually get a copy of the ebook for free. What you need to do here tonight is just to help us to share this video on Facebook Live, share it to your feed, set it to public and like our Facebook page, right? Then we will actually send you a copy of this ebook, Secrets of Being Debt-Free, to you, right? So if you're listening to this for the first time, hi, my name is 𝗗𝗲, and I'm the founder of J Advisory. You know those people who are struggling in debt, trying to get and move ahead in life? Yes, those are the people that I help. So that's why today we actually got a very special session where I'm going to give you or share with you this story of how this participant of mine came into our June debt management workshop and got this amazing result, right? So for those of you who have been following us for many weeks, welcome back. Really, we have gone through 15 episodes so far. Can you believe it? Today is the 16th episode. Oh my God. So last week, we actually interviewed Neil, who also came into our first class. At the time we call it Profit from Crisis. So we were talking about Neil and how he actually overcame his financial situation and even managed to buy a property last year, right? So if you guys missed episode 15, it's actually on our Facebook page. You can check it in our feed because it's last week, it's not too long ago. But if you can't find it, don't worry. We will make it available for you on YouTube as well. There's a playlist in YouTube where we're actually compiling all the 15 episodes. Right now, I think it's about 12 episodes. Yeah, you can actually go back and listen to any of the episodes you missed, because our intention here while we're doing this particular webinar is really times are tough. A lot of people are in depression, in anxiety, and actually having a lot of stress. So we figured that this is actually a very good platform to be able to bring true and actual stories of people who have gone through their worst financial crisis and overcome their situation. And we felt that this is actually a source of inspiration and strength. Of course, at the end of the day, we also hope to nail down some of the practical steps so that you guys who are listening in will be able to hear and practice as well, right? So we've got Pop Lee, nice name. We got Hafiza, hi Hafiza. We got Jun Xian, hi Jun Xian. There's more people coming in. Or there's a Korean guy listening, but I cannot pronounce Korean. Yeah, so guys, if you can help me before I start today's story, help us to share because we want more people to be able to benefit from this sharing. And from you sharing it, right, you may not know who you'll be able to help down the line, because how I started this journey, right, is really about, you know how, Alan, those days, we always think about everybody already know everything. What's there for me to share, right? So that was my thought before I started J Advisory. But the funny thing here is, after I started J Advisory last year, then I realized a lot of people had managed to get the results, and they were very grateful for what I was sharing. I mean, I was sharing my mess in episode 10, right? Yep. So yeah, so guys, help me to share this FB Live, and then like our FB page, you know, and type ebook into the FB Live there, so that we know who you are, and so that we can send you the ebook as well, right? Thank you first, and also on behalf of those people who will benefit later, that they will be thanking you. So Alan, what have we got today?
What do we have today? Today is special day. I think we have quite a good sum of attendees joining us tonight. And looking at the Telegram channel, we have 𝗚𝗚𝗯𝘁, yeah, and a Korean name. I also don't know how to pronounce. Yeah, so welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, so let's start off with the story. Okay, by the way, if you guys can hear us loud and clear, because I didn't see anybody reply me.
Where they reply?
Did they?
You mean in the Facebook or in Zoom?
Whether it's Facebook, Telegram, or in the webinar. Guys, if you can hear me loud and clear, type 1, because I'm not sure whether you can hear me. Thanks, Yugi.
Oh, okay.
For Telegram, right, you guys can actually comment at there's a comment box at the, is there a comment box? Maybe we should post, okay, let's see. Okay, so we posted this. If you guys can see my screen, right, we've posted this event here, right? And there's a comment section at the bottom there. So if you guys can hear us, you know, just leave a type of 1 there, so that we know you can hear us loud and clear, right? So yeah.
Oh yeah, the Korean guy type 1.
Really?
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Are you Korean?
Yeah, you gotta have to type your name also as well for us, so that we know how to pronounce your name.
Yeah, we're just curious.
Thanks, Hafiza. Thanks, Ashley. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm very grateful that, you know, despite us sharing this event so late, that you guys are still here with us, because we've got really something special for you tonight, right? Shall we start, Alan?
Yes, please. Let's start.
Okay, so how many of you can relate when we actually share out this particular situation, right? I'm going to tell a story of this guy, how he actually overcame his situation of having a credit card debt of 70K. Actually, 70K credit card debt is not too bad, right? Because when I first started doing all this back in 2013, 70K at the time was quite a lot, but today 70K wasn't that bad. But I think the main gist here is that when you look at the long list, he actually has to repay 1,585 on the credit card debts. And on top of that, there's another personal loan, 455. On top of that, someone he got a car loan and a PTPTN, you know. And I think I didn't list down here, which is a housing loan. So I think he really got everything, Alan.
Wow. Yeah, almost cover almost everything. All type of loans.
Credit card, personal loan, car loan, PTPTN, and house loan. I think that's all the loans that you can get, right?
Yeah, 5 types already, right?
Yeah. As a result, I think this is the the worst situation is when you cannot save money and you're in the deficit. Deficit here means to say you're in negative cash flow lah. So it's bleeding about almost 200 a month, which is not too bad. But I think the scarier thing here is he's expecting the new property that he bought supposed to be VP. What I mean by VP is that he's supposed to get his keys supposed to be Q3 of 2021 right? So currently the deficit of the 200 ringgit, right, is as a result of him paying 700 on the property as an interest payment. So when the whole property come in, he'll be paying about 2,004 in total.
Wow.
So I think you also can feel the stress, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So if he include that 2004, basically his deficit will not be 200. It will be almost 2,000 a month. Then on top of this, even more stressful is what? No, he actually just had a baby boy, 4 months old.
Oh man, that's another bomb.
Exactly. So you guys can feel the stress that when he actually came into the one-to-one with me, right? Help me to type stress into the chat box. Yeah, because it's very stressful. I mean, the moment when I try to type this also, I feel stressed really. Don't you feel, Alan?
Yeah, so...
So the good news here is that after he went through this debt management workshop in June, I'm very happy to share that he managed to do a debt consolidation. All right, he managed to turn around, right, from having a 2,600 repayment. That means in his total loan, he managed to reduce it to only 700, so saving him almost 1,900 ringgit. On top of that, right, by doing the debt consolidation, he managed to save another 7,700 in interest. Okay. So one thing I didn't share here is this. I mean, besides this is potential savings on 3,000 on his PMR process. PMR is actually a process we use to help people to maximize their coverage and reduce their premium, because one of the biggest problems we see people having that's causing that is overpaying in their insurance. Yeah, but there's another thing I wanted to share, which is because remember just now he was having a deficit of 200.
Okay.
After he did this whole exercise, right now he's saving about 800 a month.
He saved 800 a month. So is considered positive 800 a month?
Yeah. So that's almost like a 1,000 turnaround.
Negative 200 to positive 800.
Yeah. So if you guys feel that this is somewhat like, oh, okay, happier, not so stressful, type relief. Junsen says stress. If you feel more relief as a result of what this guy have achieved, and I think the funny thing here is that actually everybody who has a similar situation can do it themselves, right? Of course, then some of the people who went through the workshop, maybe they're not getting the result, could be because they actually have a worse off situation, or maybe they feel very overwhelmed that they may not want to take action, right? But this guy, let's give him his name. His name is Jackie, not his real name, just so that you guys can relate to him. So Jackie is actually an accountant, been working for about 8 years. Right? So are you guys curious how he actually overcome his situation? Help me type curious into the comment box. Okay. Curious. Type curious. Thanks, Hyugi. Thanks, Junxian. So the Korean guy haven't replied yet.
I'm not sure whether he can hear me from your side there.
Not too sure, but I don't see any response from FB Live. FB Live seems to be like hang already. Okay, now I can see already. Okay. Yeah, so let's start this story. Okay, Jackie is actually somebody who's been working as an accountant for about 8 years. So of course, he recently not recently got married, recently got a 4-month-old child. And one of the reasons I actually got to know him was because he incurred almost like a 60 to 70,000 credit card debt. Do you know what was the reason he got into the debt, Alan?
Not so sure. Why?
This is one of the main cause which I keep hearing whenever people come to the one-to-one. The word here is scam.
Oh, he cannot scam.
Yeah. So, but this scam is not the typical love scam and all those things. This scam is really him getting into this MLM. So, some MLM which maybe ask you to put up stock, and probably get to a different level. So I'm not sure whether that happened to him or not, but basically that's what he told me. And as a result, he got into his financial situation. And when he came also, his secrets, we call it 𝗗𝗲𝗯𝘁 already. 𝗗𝗲𝗯 means it's not very nice, like they have 1 or 2. So when you're trying to do a debt consolidation with this situation, it's also quite tough, And like I mentioned just now, in fact, both he and the wife each bought a property. I think initially when they first bought the property, they were thinking of staying, but I think maybe because of some disagreement that they cannot agree on, then eventually one of the property that they bought will be stay and the other property will be for investment.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess the stress here when he came in is that he was worried, imagine, Alan, if you expecting a property come in and then so happen your son gave birth, right? And I think one of the biggest challenge here is that I think this one everybody can relate. For all the husband out there in the room, type of one, if you can relate to this, you know how sometimes when your wife think that you are still doing well, you still have surplus, but in actual fact, we actually have certain financial situation. Maybe we're in deficit, but we cannot tell our wife.
Or dare not to tell your wife.
Yeah. Thanks, Yugi, for being honest. Yeah, because I went through this situation. That's why I can relate, because in 2017, when I went through my mess, how I bought my existing property in 3 months, and when a lot of the investors starting dropping one by one, and the situation at that point of time in 2017 was going through a bad situation, right? So, of course, the good news is that last time when I got the result, she was very proud of me, my wife. I was telling her, and we are already dreaming how when we hit financial freedom, then she don't have to work and she can retire soon, But fast forward 5 years from that point of time when she think that things are getting better, but how as a husband we try not to stress them out, that's why we don't tell them. Yeah, but eventually I took the courage to actually talk to her, because I felt that a lot of people going through this stress is not really the stress of just the financial situation, but it's also the stress of the relationship. The feeling is like you are it's not cheating, but it's also not lying, but it's also not telling her the entire truth. Right? So this was the same situation of Jackie.
Oh.
Yeah, because when the baby was born, so I guess as naturally as husband and wife, you want to set up education fund for your kids, right?
Yep. Exactly.
So when the wife was talking to the husband, asking, how much can you put aside? And when you're negative, then what can you do? Right. So there was another stress that came along, right? So I just want to share with you how his situation actually looked like, right? Just for everybody to get a more realistic understanding, right? So because the intention here is so that more people, if they are in a similar situation, then they will be able to learn as well as to understand in specific details how his situation was and also how to actually get over it. So I'm actually sending 2 files into the Telegram channel, right? So the first file here, you will see that you can see that the credit cards as well as the personal loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see on the right-hand corner, the installment is about 427. Then there's 2 credit cards here. There's another installment, 1,001. Then personal loan, you see is 455,
mm-hmm.
right? And PTPTN is 119. So the second screenshot, if for those of you who are listening in Telegram, you can actually go and click and see. You can see that there is another car loan here, which is 670, outstanding about 13,000. Then the housing loan, which I mentioned just now, the actual amount is about 517,000. The current liability is about 380,000. So the bank only released 380,000. That's why he's servicing about 700 to 900. Right. So you can see here the total owing here actually is not much. It comes up to about 54,000 over here, plus the car loan another 14,000, and also the housing loan about 380,000, right? So how we actually help him, right, is there is this other. We did a debt consolidation, right? So naturally in the class, we always talk about debt consolidation using a housing loan, right? But because you can see here for Jackie, the housing loan is a house that he bought, which haven't really appreciated in value.
New house,
Correct. So when it doesn't appreciate in value, then we can't really do a consolidation using that. Right. Oops. I think just now I sent that one to a different group chat.
You sent to the tribe, is it?
Yeah. Okay, let me just send again.
Yeah.
Okay, YK and the Korean guy. Let me know whether you can see what I'm sharing or not. So when we did the debt consolidation, right, over here when we cannot use a housing loan, then naturally we have to go through the next best part, right? So what we did here is I managed to find out there is this, oops, okay, let me just share this. So we managed to find out there's this bank which actually can do debt consolidation using a personal loan. And of course, you can see that it's actually by Bank Islam. This was actually referred to me, or rather, which was shared with me by another student in the May workshop. So what we did was for Jackie, right, is to use that 70,000 or 70,000 here to consolidate all his, not all, no. Let me just go through back to the screen. To consolidate those which has a very high IBR rate. So for those of you who do not know what's the IBR rate, right? IBR stands for installment burden ratio, right? If you can understand or you can hear it clearly, just type into the chat there, type IBR, okay? So you can see here the IBR rate here on the right here, right? When we do a debt consolidation, naturally we want to consolidate those IBR which is high. The higher the IBR, then the more burdening it is. Yeah. So if you can see here, like this credit card here is a 5, right? And then this one is 3. So 5 means that it's more burdening than this one.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can see here, personal loan, there's another one is 5 here. There's another one is 3 here. How you can see whether it's not burdening at all is you look at this. Can you see the housing loan? One reason why we consolidate using a housing loan is because the IBR rate is very low. When the IBR rate is very low, it means that it's not that burdening. Yeah. So that's why when we did the consolidation for Jackie, right, we managed to consolidate this one. Sorry, for Telegram, they cannot see. So yeah, we managed to consolidate the first credit card, which is the 7,771 outstanding, which is the 𝗗𝗲𝗯𝘁 Visa Go, which has an IBR 5.49. Then the second one we should consolidate will be the personal loan of the Hong Leong outstanding 8,006, which has an IBR of 5.29. Then naturally, the next one will be, of course, 3.56. 3.56 PTPTN. Okay. In this case, we didn't consolidate the PTPTN. You know why? Because PTPTN, the interest rate is only like 1%. And then when we did the consolidation on the Bank Islam loan, it was about 4.52. But interestingly, this was one of the personal loan that I've seen in the market, which is a reducing balance loan.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why interesting is because typically, if you know, right, Alan, most of the personal loan in the market is actually using a fixed line calculation.
They call it fixed interest. Fixed interest, right?
Not fixed interest, fixed line calculation. Fixed interest means that the interest don't change. A fixed line calculation means that the interest is calculated upfront when they take the loan. But a reducing balance loan basically is calculated when you pay more, then the interest is calculated either monthly if it's monthly rest or daily if it's daily rest. So whenever you pay more, then the interest is recalculated, assuming it's monthly rest, right? Then the interest will be lower. Yeah. So one of the things, in case some of you who hear like this is such a good deal, right? And then straight away try to call Bank Islam to apply for this loan. I want to let you guys know first, there is no 咁大嘅蛤乸隨街跳. How to translate that in English?
What's the meaning of that?
冇咁大嘅蛤乸隨街跳. That means no such big frog jumping around for you to catch.
Oh, there's no such good deal lah. Not such outrageous deal.
There's a catch, obviously there's a catch, right? So you guys want to know what's the catch, type catch into the comment box.
Okay.
Hughie say, I tried not to get her into the stressful situation. Yeah, Hughie, I know what you mean. But sometimes if we don't share the burden with our spouse, then we get more stressful.
Yeah, you have to share it all by yourself. Let me tackle the stress.
Yeah. So guys, if you're curious, type curious, because one of the things that I'm going to share with you is how do you apply this loan later, and who is it who is applicable to apply, right? So when you look at the PTPTN, then it's not, even though it's 3.56, then it shouldn't be consolidated because the interest is actually much lower than this interest rate. So one of the things that I told Jackie over here, also for the rest of you guys for your information, is that if it's something very high, right, but the interest rate is very low, don't do a consolidation. What you can do is call up PTPTN. I'm not sure whether it can be done or not, right? But try it out. When there's a will, there's a way. Call PTPTN. Tell them that you are currently struggling financially. Ask them to reduce the installment, right, to something IBR maybe 1 or IBR less than 1. So in case some of you who are wondering how to actually calculate this IBR, right, Later, we see whether we can post it into the Telegram group. Then you all can actually use that formula. But here's the better thing for you to do. Maybe for those of you who are not very keen on the ebook, right? We're going to give you another special gift. How many of you like this debt management template? Type what? Type DMT, debt management template. So later we're going to tell you where exactly to get this debt management template, and you can get it for free, right? Okay. So then when you know how to calculate this one, when you put it to 1 IBR, right, then you realize the installment maybe is like 50 ringgit or maybe like 20 ringgit. Yeah. So then you don't have to do consolidation, but at the same time, you can reduce your installment. How cool is that? Okay. So moving on, like car loan, because car loan is a fixed line calculation, so the interest already calculated upfront, so no point consolidating it. And then over here, the housing loan is, of course, is very low, and we just don't want to touch it, so we just let it be. So literally, we're just consolidating this one to the Hong Leong credit card, the OCBC credit card, as well as the Hong Leong personal loan, yeah, which comes up to maybe about 50 to 60,000. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, some people already type. Oh, they type DMT. Hey, Chikun is in the line also. Hi, Chikun. Okay. How you get the DMT is actually, there is this, let me see whether I can move it to my, maybe actually, Alan, you can help us to send the link. You know, in our J Advisory website, we've got a new tab, called e-resources. So over there, because a lot of people complain that our Telegram, there's so many goodies there, but they cannot find anything. So we have taken the effort to actually put all these goodies, free resources, right, into J Advisory e-resources. Then you can actually easily download this for free. How cool is that? Right. So if you guys benefited, or for those of you who have benefited in the past, that's why I want you to share all these goodies to people who can benefit. That's the intention when we ask you guys to help share this video, as well as to like our Facebook page, right? So that we can reach more people. Help us to amplify our voice so that we can help more people. Thank you very much. Okay, so where are we? So yeah, then he did the consolidation, and then he overcame his situation, and subsequently, this is the result of it. Let me just share it here. Am I sharing the right one? Okay, correct. Oh, Alan, we forgotten to do something.
I recorded the Telegram. Is it?
Yeah, do you record?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, thank God, you're my savior. Okay, so this will happen after the consolidation, right? For those of you in the Telegram. Okay, while it's loading. So as a result, yeah, can you see my screen? So as a result, you can see that after the consolidation, right, his repayment was 2,710. That means this is in totality, all the commitments, right? Then although here it says interest, he's actually reusing the roll. Over here is installment. So 2007 reduced to 726. Oh yeah, I forgotten to share that one. Later I'll share it. 726 is his new installment. And then the total installment saved is 1,984. So on top of that, can you see the total interest just now we calculated was 24,555. So the new interest after the consolidation is about 17,000. So hence he actually saved about 7,418, right? So where is that screen? Let me just look for it. Okay, here. So this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like after the restructuring or the consolidation. So can you see here? They also put here Kada Asas 2%. Kada Asas plus 2%. So because it's a reducing balance loan, although 𝗗𝗲𝗯𝘁 is like 2.52 plus 2% is 4.52. When it's a reducing balance loan, right, the effective rate can be as low as 2%, equivalent to the fixed line loan. So you can see here the new installment is 726, right?
Yep.
And
120 months.
Yeah, 120 months. He took the maximum tenure, the maximum term of 10 years. So a lot of people will be asking like, hey, if it's a personal loan and you take 10 years, how is it possible that the interest reduce? So the catch is this. The catch is that if you using a fixed line loan, right, the longer you take it, then the higher the interest totality will be. But because this is a reducing balance loan, so of course, this is just to make sure that when the new property that come in later on for Jackie, he's able to withstand that 2,400 per month. Yeah, because initially he wanted to take a 5-year loan, right? Which the installment can come up to about 1,200.
Wow.
But here's the thing. If you guys know how to calculate the interest, when you get a reducing balance loan like this, it's okay to put 10 years, but make sure when you have excess the time, when you can prepay the loan, right, you actually save in terms of the interest one. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so literally we took a 10-year loan just to anticipate for the property. So to make sure that when the property do come in, I heard from Jackie, he said that the property has been delayed now. Instead of Q3, they're delayed to Q4. I think it's going to be delayed further. Looking at the situation. What do you think, Alan?
You mean the developer have to finish building the whole thing before they can hand over, right?
Yeah. That's normally the case. You cannot hand over halfway.
So looking at the current situation, I think the construction industry is also being affected by the MCO. So probably some of the workers might be infected with COVID. So if their workers are positive, then probably the whole thing will delay. Just my opinion.
Yeah. So that's why I think as well. So let me see. Okay, so this is the last one. So this was what he mentioned. Group we created. Sorry, is there a sound just now?
I don't know.
Okay,
Some sound.
So I mean, this is a group that is created for those people who have finished the debt management workshop, right? And pursuing their 10K challenge. 10K challenge is really like an experiential learning for those people who learn already what we teach in class. We want them to practice it and get results for themselves. So when Jackie got this result, we were very happy for him when he shared this. Like, he really got the results, right? This is something which, like I mentioned many times, money cannot buy kind of satisfaction, Yeah. Alan, can you help us to read for the benefit of the Telegram group?
Or start from, would like to share about the recent debt consolidation achieved.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so kind of feel excited when it is approved despite of the secret record slightly fall. By doing so, managed to reduce monthly commitment by approximate RM1.9K or 1,900 from 2,400 to 700 to get additional monthly cash flow for the time being. So in terms of interest saving, net interest saved about 7.7K, 7,700. Thank you, Kaho, for the guide and encouragement. So original commitment was about 2.7K, 2,700. So from 2,700, go down to 700. monthly. Is that correct?
Yeah. So that's why when I received this message when he shared, we were all very excited for him as well, because you know the kind of feeling when later when we asked him, how do you feel? He actually said this, he said that he feel more confident right now because previously he was very concerned about the property and then the child, his son's savings where he couldn't contribute. So when he finally got this debt consolidation done, he feel more confident looking forward to the property. He feel more empowered when even if really the property is VP already, he is more capable of handling the situation. And another thing, he also said he felt more relief. Right now, can sleep at night.
Yeah, I think I will also sleep better if I'm in his shoes.
Yeah, and one more thing he mentioned is that I think as a result, he don't feel so guilty anymore now that this situation is solved, because you know how previously he didn't really share with the wife. Right now he don't really have to hide I think this is the best case scenario, because he's not the only one that I've met. There's a few more other participants that came in that obviously we always tell them to actually share upfront with the spouse, because it's better to get them to be aligned with you, to share the burden and work together. But I guess some people know their wife better. Right, when the spouse is stressed, then they feel more stressed. So I leave it up to them how to solve the situation.
Yeah. So technically saying that he's paying less 2,000 a month already now, right? Due to the saving.
Correct. He's almost 2,000 because here he saved about 1,900.
Oh yeah, about 1,900, 2,000 around there. Oh,
Yep,
so every month he got 2,000, let's say 2,000 extra to spend or to save or to invest. Cool. There's a big sum of money at the current situation to have extra 2,000 a month.
Yeah. Then we got a few questions. Junzen is asking, when is the property VP? So actually, based on what he shared with me, initially was Q3, right? So right now, or we're already in Q3. Then the last he updated me was Q4 2021. So we were just talking about it just now. I doubt that the property can complete in Q4 based on the current situation. Today, it's another new high. I think 19,000 over cases, right?
I think close to 20,000 now.
20,000, shit. So we all feel, when we look at the number, we all feel like it's just a number, right? But I start to understand better, especially recently. I went and see a couple of videos. One of them is named 𝗜, another one is 𝗔𝘄 𝗜. Really the cases in the hospital is so bad that they actually have to choose who gets to leave and who doesn't, which is very heartbreaking. So yeah, so guys, we've do whatever we can, in the sense that if those of you can donate, please donate, because 𝗔𝘄, I think they actually ask each person to donate 10 ringgit and 13 cents. Yeah. So there's a lot of medical equipment that is very pricey, which I didn't know until when I watched 𝗜's video. Like a PPE for the doctors can cost up to like 7,000 ringgit for one-time use. And some of the ultrasound is costing about 170,000. So what we say, 𝗗𝗲𝗯𝘁 which means that if you got the money, donate money. If you don't have money, donate the effort, or even like sharing this kind of messages to people within your network. You do not know. Sometimes some people will just be able to help out, like how 𝗜 managed to get that donor of 1 million from overseas. I think I was very surprised as well. There are people actually able to donate this kind of sum. Okay, so any questions so far, guys? If you're in the webinar, type your questions in the Q&A, right? For those of you who are listening to us on the Telegram, type your question on the comment box. And for those of you who are listening in the FB Live, help us to type into the comment section. Guys, please help us to also share our FB Live and also like our Facebook page. Type into the Facebook Live comment there, type ebook so that we know to give you this free ebook. I actually came out with this. I wrote down this ebook, which is a collection of my teachings in this debt management workshop. A lot of the students actually asked me for the slides, which I thought slides doesn't really make sense because you will forget after the class, right? Unless you have a video. So what I did was to actually create this ebook so that all of you who haven't even attended the class, whether you attended the class or not before, you will have something very handy as a reference for you, right? So the ebook is valued at 97 ringgit. Do help me to share it to anybody who can benefit during these challenging times, right? So remember to help us to share the video, then claim your ebook. Hi, we got Long Jin. Oh, I got a lot of people there today.
Yeah, today we have some people joining us halfway. Then I think Long Jin asked a question. He asked how he reduced his monthly commitment because he missed the first part of the video.
Wait, let me just look at the question. How he what?
How Jackie reduced his monthly commitment.
How Jackie, this debt restructuring is via AKPK. No, this debt restructuring is not via AKPK. This debt restructuring is a result of Jackie coming into our class and do it himself with our guidance. Secrets will be affected for 12 months. No, the secrets is not affected for 12 months, although his secrets, when he applied the time, he already have 1 and 2. So Longjin, just for your information, right? Jackie actually did this debt restructuring using a personal loan. So you may want to refer back to this video because we actually have a recorded session of this video later on the Facebook. Don't worry. If you cannot find Facebook later, we'll make it ready for you in YouTube. But yes, this debt restructuring has nothing to do with AKPK. AKPK is only for those people who have given up hope, number one. Number two is that they are maybe too deep in debt already that we can't salvage to help them. And what Jackie is doing is, I would say, accelerating him out of debt even faster than AKPK, because AKPK will take you at least 10 years. So a lot of people who does not know, right? AKPK for the first 2 years, they may actually put you into a situation where you can pay your monthly repayment. After 2 years, they will increase it because they need to make sure that the loan finishes within 10 years. So one reason why we have this debt management workshop is because we want to make sure that you guys are financially educated so that you understand where is the root cause and how do you solve that situation and accelerate you out of debt. That's why our tagline here is debt-free, how you can be debt-free. We got questions or more?
Yes, we got question. Longjin is saying, so the effective interest seems quite low. We are plus 2%.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I was asking. Hey, nobody want the curious, nobody type curious. Okay, Longjin.
No collateral needed.
Sorry, there's no collateral needed. Yes, no collateral needed for personal loan. Yes, this personal loan, the effective interest is very low, definitely. So just now I was asking the audience who would like to know what is the catch to this personal loan, because most likely tomorrow everybody go to Bank Islam and start applying. But please hear me out first, because there's a catch. Not everybody can be eligible. If you want to know what is the catch, type curious into the chat group.
𝗗𝘄 type curious already.
Thank you, 𝗗𝘄. Who else? Who else? If you're curious, type curious. Very curious, you're all curious. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks, Longjin. What's the catch? Actually, one of the reasons, okay, maybe I just give you the answer, then I give you the explanation. The answer to this question is, they only offer this personal loan to professionals. Professional means to say accountants, auditor, if you're a banker or you're working in an MNC like an engineer, like Petronas engineer, etc., right? So I know what you're thinking, like bloody hell, why they discriminate? But there's a reason for all the banks doing this, or rather, how banks price their risk. So like you also mentioned just now, Longjin, why no collateral? It's a personal loan. Normally, personal loan, they don't give this kind of good deal, no collateral one. You know, most banks will at least take a housing loan or property, right? So that's why they have this criteria, is because when these people or professionals are working in big companies, right? Big companies have lesser risk of closing down as compared to SME. So when this bank actually give out this loan, they are assured that their income or the salary is consistently being paid to Jackie, right? And then Jackie, because he's an accountant previously, so in their statistics, they have seen that white-collar worker, white-collar means to say those office worker, knowledge worker, white-collar worker tend to have a higher or better repayment than blue-collar worker. So hence why they have this criteria, right? So for those of you who can fit into that criteria, then you can go and apply. But of course, even like when Jackie came to the class, after he learned everything already, he still need to make sure that what he's doing is correct or not. So if you ever have that concern, I would suggest you to come in to our sessions, right? Or even like there's this Telegram group here, or you have that PM in Facebook. As much as possible, if we can answer your question, because the reason why we can answer Jackie's question is because we already know his financial situation. That's why in the class, we will teach you to actually put together all your financial situation so that you'll be able to answer the question and for me, easily to guide you. But the problem here is that if tomorrow you're going to apply Bank Islam, right, and you're going to ask me this question, it's not that I don't want to help you, but because I don't have 100% clarity on your financial situation, I cannot give you an exact answer. That's the problem, right? So that's why we highly recommend you to come into our class.
Yeah, we got a few more questions. Actually, Chan is asking, how do I get started on debt consolidation plan like Jackie?
Okay, actually, the simple answer is anybody can walk into the bank and apply. But I think the hard answer here is, even though everybody know how to do it, I've seen a lot of people, when they do the debt consolidation, they still get it wrong. Get it wrong means to say that they may end up having a more stressful, higher repayment that they set up themselves for. For example, like how Jackie is doing, right? Jackie is managed to save about 2,000, but at the same time, he managed to reduce his interest. A lot of people, when they go and apply, they cannot see the interest. So maybe they're just applying from the point of view, which is the installment, right? So that's why I need you guys to do your financial situation so then you know exactly there's the balance that you're trying to get, So if you do it wrongly, then you will screw up your situation even worse, that's why we don't want you to simply do it, right? I hope I answered your question.
I think probably also asked another question, almost the same as Ashley. How he did it, must attend your class only will know.
Actually, probably you don't really have to attend our class only will know. But actually, in our class, we actually teach everybody the most fundamental financial thing that you must do. And I can even share it with you very clearly right now. Number one, in our class, right, just now if you see the template, you know that you need to understand 100% on your current debt situation. Number two is you also need to understand in terms of your asset and liability, where you are right now in your financial situation. A lot of people, number one, they don't know how to do it. Number two is even they know how to do it, they may not have the time or the patience to do it. Number three is that you need to also put down your cash flow. That means your income and expenses in what we call a P&L statement, right? So when you add up all this together, we actually have this template. That's why a lot of people really like our class, because we give them this template called financial compass. Through the financial compass, you basically be able to tell exactly where you are. How do you get out of your shit situation and get out like Jackie got out. And actually, Jackie is not the only person. Actually, we have a lot of other successful cases, which we'll be happy to share with you. And if you want to hear more unsuccessful cases, we'll also be happy to share, because we even have people who we are still helping them, like having a deficit of 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month. So yeah, but they're happier because they get clarity from this financial compass and they feel more confident, even though the situation haven't been solved, but they are confident that they know what path to take and what actions to take. I think that's the main thing out of why they get into our class.
Yeah. Then the last question is, if already under AKPK debt management program, do you think it is still eligible to get a debt consolidation or personal loan, or do you suggest to go to a private legal loan company?
That's a very good question. Actually, right, for people who are under AKPK, we need to assess the situation, because there's a few students currently who came into our class already AKPK. One of the biggest challenge is we are asking them to prepare similar documents like what I've shared with you. Because once you go into AKPK, when you try to get back all your debt, your credit card statements or personal statement, is very hard to get. So we're trying to get these people to reconstruct back how is their situation before they get into AKPK, and whether there's a high chance that we can accelerate them out of their situation. If yes, right, then we will work out a strategy for them to opt out of AKPK, because you cannot do that consolidation when you're in AKPK, especially trying to do it with the bank. Because the bank, the moment they see you're in AKPK, right, it's a protection mechanism. They want you to pay off your current loans first before they allow you to borrow new loans. But we also seen this protection mechanism backfire, especially when we saw this guy. That's why I want you to download the ebook, guys. Help us to share the video, and then like our page and comment ebook into the FB page. Because in the ebook, right, I did mention about this case study about Martin, right? Martin was a person, he actually admitted to AKPK for the wrong reason. Why I say wrong is because he actually have a property which can help him to do a consolidation on all his debt. I think it was about 120,000. The property can actually do a consolidation up to about 200,000. But because he didn't know, that's what we mean by financial education. When he didn't know, he admitted to AKPK. By the time he came to me, I actually told him that no banks will loan you money because you're in AKPK. But at that point of time, I didn't know that you can actually opt out of AKPK before you finish paying off your loan. So right now, we've been constantly trying to reach out to him, but he's not answering our call. I hope it's still not too late trying to reach out to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Those are very good questions.
Yeah. Good question for our guest tonight.
Okay. I've got one last thing I want to share, which is this. So in case, right, one of the reasons why we're sharing, one of the reasons why we're sharing Jackie's case study is because of this. Can you see this? So I'd like to invite all of you, right? For those of you who like to know more, right? We actually have consolidated the debt management workshop into a new class called Double Your Net Worth. So if you can hear me loud and clear, type DYN, okay? Because this Double Your Net Worth, a lot of people were asking me, 𝗗𝗲, at this point of time when everybody's struggling, why you still want to talk about, creating wealth and making people rich when people can't even have enough money to eat? So guys, I want to tell you one thing. This Double Your Net Worth is actually a combination of the debt management workshop, because we still want to help people who are currently in debt. But one of the problems with people having in debt is they are not investing, So that's why I want to invite everyone here, right, to come to this preview we're having on Saturday, 10:30 to 12:30. The topic is called Why Investing is the New Saving. So in my experience, one of the biggest problems why people get into debt is because they are not moving forward in life. They don't move forward in life is because they don't have enough investment. They are just merely saving money. But ever since 1972, right, you got to know that ever since 1972, you cannot just continue to save money. It doesn't move you forward in life. Hence why I want to share with you this very important message that everybody needs to learn how to invest. Hence why we have come out with this course called Double Your Net Worth. It's not because I want to make you guys rich, It's because right now, it's already, investing is no longer a luxury, guys. Investing right now is a necessity. If you don't invest and move yourself forward, basically, inflation will eat up your savings, and eventually you'll be vulnerable to debt. That means you'll be easily go back into debt again, So guys, if you really want to overcome your debt situation, you really need to come into this class, find out for yourself. In these 2 hours, it's a free class, complimentary. So that it's an overview of the Double Your Net Worth. At least you know what is it all about, Because the Double Your Net Worth is a 4 days class, and it's not for everybody, only for those people who are really serious about making a change for the better in their financial situation. Yeah, so that's why I want to invite all of you to come into this free class, Why Investing is the New Savings. I'm going to share with you a couple of things, right? And you can actually join our Telegram group. I've actually posted the details there. And you can actually sign up the link here. It's a free webinar this coming Saturday. Right. So Alan, if you don't mind, can you just help me to also post this into the FB Live?
Post the Zoom link, right?
Post. I don't know whether you can post this whole thing or not.
Let me try.
Yep. So basically, that is really my sharing for today. Any question, because we're actually out of time. But I'm actually very happy to see so many faces today. I'm glad you guys can join us for me to share this important message. Yeah, because pardon us on not being able to invite a guest today. Customary, we always invite somebody to share the story, but I guess this is a new format we're trying also. Guys, if you let me know, how do you like this session? Do you like this session like anonymous but real case study, type 1? If you like the previous format where we invite people to share their real life experience, type 2. So then we know what kind of format we can actually do more of. Or maybe so for those of you who like a combination of this and that, then type 3. Yeah, I know you're going to say that, Chikun. Thanks, Huey. Thanks, Ashley. Yep. Thanks, Junxian. Okay, cool. Alan, so anything that we not shared with the audience before we go?
I think we have shared almost everything. Just hope that those people who are free on Saturday morning, please join our free webinar. I think you will learn something as well during the 1 hour plus morning.
Any question on the Telegram or Facebook or even like
we have one question from Lu Jing right now, where he asked the 4-day course is about investment recommendation. What kind of asset class or tools to do it?
The 4 days class is actually a combination. Day 1 and day 2 is getting you out of your shit. That means out of your debt. Day 3 and day 4 is focusing on how you move forward in life, which we talk about the three pillars of investment vehicle, which is property, stocks, and unit trust. Yeah, so we also share a lot of tools and templates that I use personally to help my clients double their net worth. So it's not a theoretical thing. Whatever we're sharing here is we've done it before, right? So we're gonna teach you guys how to do it. So it's a lifelong skill. So I hope to see you guys there. But come into the preview first, so at least you know what is it all about. I'm gonna explain in more detail on the 4 days, the overview of it.
Yeah, so you would like to find out more what we'll be teaching on the 4 days time. So join us this Saturday morning. You will find out more in another session in our free webinar this Saturday morning, 10:30. Okay. So if you guys are enjoying tonight's webinar, can you please type 111 in the chat so that Kaho will know that he has done something interesting tonight? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Hugi. Thanks, Chikun.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I'm happy that you guys enjoy it because as usual, as I always tell my participant in the workshop, we look forward to your breakthrough. So I hope you guys, in whatever situation you're currently in, like I said, when there's a will, there's a way, right? So I also look forward to you getting your breakthrough similar like Jackie like that. All right. So good night, guys. I see you next week in our turnaround webinar. Take care, stay safe, and stay strong.
Bye, guys.